Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It is your girl, Coach K Transforms. And listen, I am here with another informative, resourceful, powerful session as we continue on the journey of talking about the thrills and spills of entrepreneurship. If you are watching this on screen, then you see that I am not here by myself. So I'm going to allow my guest the honors of introducing herself. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Kisha. I am Michelle Williams. I am a certified holistic wellness coach and author and blooming real estate investor.
Hey,
Yeah, so just kind of trying to utilize all my gifts and make these
absolutely.
multiple streams of income. I'm the author of two books. One is Elegant Elevation: Shattering Through the Glass Ceiling to Become the Best Version of You, and the other one is kind of a supplement to that book that goes more into intermittent fasting and things like that. And it's called Elegant Elevation: The Intermittent Fasting Guide. So the book is basically about how you achieve holistic wellness and how I lost over 70 pounds in 6 months, and just helping other women to do the same. So.
I love it. I love it. We have had major conversations. So I am
Absolutely.
so honored to have you on the Woman's Hustle platform because you are kind of like the example of why I created this podcast, right? Because I want women to understand that even though you are pursuing an entrepreneurial journey, you can still do that while you are still gainfully employed, while you
Mhm.
are, researching and still having a very active career because you are still working. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm still have a 9 to 5. Yeah, still work
Absolutely.
40 hours work in
Absolutely.
corporate America, absolutely.
Yeah. So I wanted to actually, I love that because a lot of women feel like when you talk about entrepreneurship, the first thing that they say is, oh, I need to quit my job. Everybody doesn't want to quit their job because they're on
Not
an
right away,
entrepreneurial
yeah.
journey. That part, and
Yeah,
even so with women that want to potentially have multiple streams of income, they might still feel like they want to stay at their job. And I want just
absolutely.
women to understand that it is totally okay with that. So if you don't mind just sharing a little bit about your backstory, just kind of one, what got you into coaching? And two, just share us a little bit about what you do in your 9 to 5 as well.
Well, what got me into coaching is, one of my favorite quotes is, "Be the change you wish to see." So, as
Mm.
I went through I struggled with my weight, from my late teens till there's not even an end date.
Yes,
I still
come on.
I still have
And
my
still
struggles
right.
with that, but just finding realistic, plans to go on to lose weight. I mean, I didn't want to go on any type of radical thing, but healthy ways to lose weight and ways to heal our bodies in the process. There's a lot of quick fixes, there's a lot of diets, but losing both of my parents prematurely to weight related illnesses, I wanted to do it in a healthy way. Also, helping with the cholesterol and high blood pressure and things like
Right.
that. So, as I went on to search for different tips and guides and educating myself on that, I found that there was like a little bit of a gap, as far as with the intermittent fasting. I'm like, this is something that's been around for years,
Mm.
but we really don't hear about it. And I'm sure across all cultures, but especially in the African American culture, when you start talking about
Absolutely.
missing meals, it's like, no, we're not doing.
Hey,
We don't
what?
do that. We don't do that
Why are
over
you
here.
trying to starve
Yeah,
yourself, baby?
right. That's starvation. It's like, no, but when I started thinking,
Yes,
learning about the healing benefits of it and really going into it and having a spiritual background, we do it for biblical reasons or for
absolutely.
spiritual reasons, like, oh, we want to hear from God or we need this from God. We need God every day. We need spiritual guidance every day. So it should be something. We should be giving our body that break. And when I was going on that journey, I didn't have a lot of information about it. So I'm like, well, if I don't have it, I'm going to create it as I go along to be that
Period.
path for other women. I'm like, I lost all these years I battled my weight and I lost over 70 pounds in 6 months. I'm like, I'm sure there's other women that are looking for that. And then also dealing with weight for what it is. A lot of people think the weight is a problem. Weight is a symptom. There's something else going on
Mhm.
while we're overeating, while we're turning to food, while we're, using food, as a coping strategy. So
Right.
just dealing with that whole process, going through a healing and transformation process, going back to the beginning, digging into our backgrounds and, again, mental health and different things that we deal with, stress and just all these things that we deal with that drive us to
Right.
sometimes overeat and do that. So I'm like, I wanted to, write something and something short, and because I know our attention span is not that long. It's not a huge long.
You know it.
It's kind of a step by step on how to get to that process and changing our mind. Again, you're a mindset coach, so it starts in the mind. Until we change that,
Period.
oh, food is our friend. It's not. It's killing us slowly. So we have to
Yeah.
change how we're looking at that and finding different
Come on.
healthier
Come on.
alternatives for doing that. So that's what got me into that. And then it's like, when I put the book out, people are kind of like, well, I noticed that some people are, I'm a person, I can read something and apply it. I'll
Right.
understand it and apply it. But some people, I'm pretty self motivated. If I put my mind to something, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna do it to the end. And some people are like, no, I need that little extra,
Right.
push or whatever. So that's where the coaching part came in. I wanted to definitely, I've always been a writer, but I definitely wanted to put that part out. If you need that extra support or that extra encouragement to say you can do this, keep going on those days you don't feel like it, push through, start believing in yourself. We let ourselves down so many times. We make these
Mhm.
promises and these goals, and we're like, we get used to, giving up on us. So just keep pushing through. You might have a bad day, but finish strong, keep going. So,
Absolutely. I
you know,
love it. I love it. And I
yeah.
love that. You spoke a lot on the personal side of things, but I know that during all of that and going through that to maintain in a healthy manner,
Right.
how did that affect you, like when you decided to become a coach, like and actually stepping into that? Because honestly, we know that we kind of coach unofficially, like all the time, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like when you made that like official decision to say, hey, I'm going to become a coach, I'm going to, push the book as, the primary and me be your
Hmm.
support after the fact.
Yeah.
Um, how did that look for you?
Well, again, like I said, I wanted to be that change I wanted to see. I wish I had something like that. So I
Yeah,
wanted to develop that and be hands-on with people to continue to see my journey because the book, it has an ending, but the
right.
story goes on. So to say
Absolutely.
it's not just, transformation, is a journey. It's
Mm,
not a destination. So it
man, we
goes
gotta talk
on.
about it.
I'll lose this. I lost 70 pounds, but gained back 20. I lost it
Yeah,
again and get, just to see how those ebbs and flows go. So it says, yeah, you need to jump into this full time because it was a passion for me. Like I said, losing my parents to that, it definitely watching that decline of your health when you don't put that at the forefront. We talk about money and definitely women are just trailblazers with the entrepreneurship, but a lot of
yeah.
times we let our health slack. So if you don't have that together, none of the rest of it. So another big
Hey,
portion of it is the holistic wellness part of it. It's not just about the weight loss, your spiritual, your mental, all that
yes,
goes into being an entrepreneur because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give to people if you're not pouring into yourself. So definitely having that whole mind, body, spirit connection. It just was a passion for me. And I'm like, well, I always had people asking because they saw this transformation. Like, what are you
mm,
doing? What are you doing? I'm like,
yeah.
well, instead of stopping and every time, let me
Right.
put this together. Let me start doing this. Here's how we can have this conversation because it's hard to wrap all that up in a passing in the hallway or in a
Absolutely.
conversation. So yeah, I need to start being hands on. So that's what got me into yeah, you need to start making this a business for yourself and really, really helping people.
I love that you really touched on the holistic side because this
Yeah.
is really conversations that people don't want to have. People believe that you can be successful in business and growing and starting a business and you have a life full of havoc on the personal note.
Mm, yeah.
That is inaccurate and it is totally false. Like it's
Yes.
impossible, people. Listen, you can make short little steps here and there, but if the goal is to do something long term, especially when it comes to building a business, baby, you better get that personal side together. You better get that clarity in
Absolutely.
order. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I know that I love that even with you as a coach, you still have are expanding. You
Yes.
know, not to mention still having your 9 to 5. You
Mhm.
are still expanding. You have now stepped into real estate.
Yeah.
Like multiple streams of income. I love it, sis. Tell us a little bit more about that journey, how that got started.
Wow, it's God is so good. I mean, when you open yourself up, I'm a big person on meditation. We pray to God to talk to Him, but we meditate to hear from Him and get that leadership.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I love HGTV. So if I watch TV, that's that. I love transformation, all this, but I'm like, I don't, I never really thought about getting into it that
Right.
way. And I was online looking up some health and wellness stuff, and this Kingdom 320 came up. And I never thought of myself much as a business mogul type of person. I thought with
Right.
real estate, sometimes it gets a little shady and people are just pushing for a commission, but it was
Absolutely.
really there was a mentorship group that was really faith based and things like that. And they were talking about easy ways. Well, I won't say easy, simple.
Right.
Easy and
Right.
simple are very different. A simple concept for getting, you still have to do the work, but a simple concept for getting into real estate, which was starting with wholesaling and things like that, and just how to
Mhm.
do it. And I'm like, it was a step by step guide, a little bit of an investment, but I started learning more about it. I'm like, this is awesome. And I already had my real estate license. I got that 2 years ago, but
Oh,
again,
wow. Look
got
at
in
that
my own
alignment.
way.
Come on.
Yeah, so I already had it, but again, I was like, this is a lot with full-time
Yeah.
working. I knew coaching was my passion, but again, we need those multiple streams and we have many gifts. So I'm like, I really want to get into it. That's a lot with wealth building. A lot of the people that are very wealthy do have some
And
foot in real
the
estate. So
goal is to have 7 streams, people.
yeah.
FYI. Go
And
ahead.
then having that passive income. So I'm like, I need to really
Yes.
start getting into it. So I started, I'm still very new for me, but I definitely did start that business as well. And my brand is Elegant Elevation. So again, my real estate company is Elegant Elevation as well. Again, something that was given to me divinely that says, just growing, continue to elevate, but the elegance that you have right now, appreciate who you are right now and love yourself right now, but
Mm.
never continue to climb. It's not an either or. You can love yourself right now and continue to challenge yourself to go to the next level. So that's the kind of name behind the branding behind my name. But
Love it.
yeah, but that's what it was. And it was very interesting. And I love it. I love looking at stuff. I've always, again, it's another form of transformation. I'm definitely into the fix and flips. I love to see what seems like nothing turn into something, or
Right.
people go from their lowest to their best. I've seen that. So
I
yeah,
love
so
that.
that was
Like,
just
that's
another thing.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
love it. Like, and just you speaking about it, you can tell, like, the passion is definitely there. I love that.
it is.
Like,
I love it. I love to keep learning, challenging myself. Absolutely.
yeah, and that's what it's about. Like, really, as an entrepreneur, I'm a full time, and everybody knows that. I'm about to become 4 years in the game, but the thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But the one thing that I have never stopped doing is learning,
Yeah.
growing, looking at new resources, looking, always wanting to connect, always wanting to network and see, what I can find. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, if you're just saying you're an entrepreneur and you're not doing anything towards the growth of anything, I don't know if that's really entrepreneur. I
It's
think
a
that
hobby, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, I just did an episode about that. I
Yeah.
just did an episode about, is it a business or a hobby? Because we really have to ask ourselves that question. If you're just wanting to sell some things to your family and friends, that's a
It's a
hobby.
hobby.
If
Mhm.
you're wanting to incorporate and become worldwide, hey, let's build that business. But you need to have the blueprint and strategy in order to figure out which one is going to be the best for you. Everybody's not meant for entrepreneurship.
It's not, and the other thing that I've heard and seen a lot is they think because when we say hobby, this has nothing to do necessarily about your earning. You may
Yeah.
not earn a whole lot in your first few years,
You
because
won't.
you
You
won't, you know
won't.
what I mean? So that's not what we're saying, but we're talking about the drive to keep learning, to learn the
Yes.
business, to have a strategy, to have a goal. And something I definitely saw, definitely with you. We're both from Peoria, Illinois,
Yeah.
which I always thought was a very small town. And it was just but something you always said was about your customer base is not limited to your family and friends.
And
You have
was
to be
not.
willing to network way outside. You're in some of my groups. I mean, I have
Yeah,
clients from all around the world,
all
that
around.
saw me on a podcast and just related. So you have to definitely think big and always continue to educate yourself and pour into yourself. Self development is so important. Emotional
Absolutely.
intelligence, so important. You're going to hear 5, 10 no's to every yes, if not more, and be okay.
Absolutely.
Shake it off. That wasn't my customer base. That wasn't my, what do they
Yeah.
call avatar for me? That
There
wasn't
you
that
go.
person for
My
me.
ideal client. There you
Yeah, it
go.
wasn't that.
Absolutely.
So definitely.
And that's one thing. I did a branding brilliance workshop a couple days ago here in person, and that was one of the questions, like, who's your ideal audience? And a young lady was like, everybody. And I was like, I get what you're saying, but if you're really trying to build a business, you have to narrow that down.
Yeah, you
So
have to
by
have
the
a
time
niche.
yeah, so by the time, and the one thing that I need to tell people, everybody needs a brand. Everybody has to build their brand. I
Mhm.
don't care what field you're in. I don't care what it is that you do. You have to have a brand. You have to have an audience. You have to know who you're talking to.
Mhm.
So by the time we got through with that, she had narrowed down, you know, who she potentially wanted to work with, and it still got some work, and we're actually going to schedule a one-on-one. But the thing is, you can't just have your mindset say, "Oh, I want to help everybody."
Everybody.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how we was, sis.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, it was like everybody need, I was
They
like,
did. Who
everybody need
doesn't?
to change
Everybody
their
could lose weight.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, everybody need to change their mindset, and it was just growing. It was like, yeah, but everybody don't want to change their mindset. Everybody don't want to lose weight. Everybody doesn't want to eat
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true,
Even
that's
though we know they need to,
true.
they don't want to. Like they don't. And that's the
We
big
want y'all, but y'all may not want us.
hey, there you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So
that's
it's
funny.
just like super important, that we narrow those things down, but also be open minded to get into those spaces. Because one thing that I have done in the past year is I have went to other cities to network, not as a vendor, not as a speaker, but as a straight up spectator. I don't have
Yeah.
any problem with going in these spaces, communicating. Hey, how you doing? Can I get your business card? I went to a women's business showcase. It was over 60 women vendors at that showcase.
Wow.
If you don't believe that I networked, I did. And guess what? Because of that networking, I'm now about to be one of their keynote speakers for one of their monthly events that they host through their organization. All
That's
because I went to a place and had a conversation and handed my card out.
That's it. That's and the mindset. And I'm
Yes.
in one of my groups, I'm doing a comfort zone challenge right now. And
Hmm.
just for 21 days, just do something you don't normally do. And
Yep.
you would just be surprised. I'm on day 13, how that spills over into other areas of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We get get uncomfortable. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I
You
was not a
do.
person to go and be the person to initiate conversation. But now, like you, hi, how are you doing? My name is
Yep.
Michelle Williams. What's your business? I can have your card. Here, take mine. If you know anyone that's interested, you never know. It might not be
You
that
never
person. It may
know.
be that. I mean, I've had coworkers buy my book and take it home and their wives or husbands read it and,
Yep.
and they became clients or reached out. So
Yep.
you just never know. And you
You
have to be
don't.
willing to market yourself and get out there. Cause I tell you, some of the clients I have, I would have never the way I started off thinking, I would have
Right.
never thought of targeting those clients. I would have never
Absolutely.
thought that, our own thinking, get out of our own head and
Yes,
judging
indeed.
and thinking and saying like, "Oh, I wouldn't have thought." Not any prejudice or anything, but I
Right,
I
of
wouldn't have
course.
thought. I wouldn't have thought.
But and also just with that, I know that has given you a boost of confidence. I know it
Oh,
has given you, a little more clarity because now you see because like when I started, I didn't think that I'd be helping women start their businesses and helping them get the visions together to start their business. I started off as a straight up life coach. You know that. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So to say now that I am actually helping women create their vision and execute effectively to launch, a business long term. Hey, you'd have never told me that 3 years ago that that's what I'd be doing. But always being open minded and also being on my own journey with that because I've done that within myself,
Yeah.
But just being open minded, being receptive, and building that confidence. Because although I've never lacked confidence. Being an entrepreneur is a different level of confidence. It's
You
not
have to
it
have
has
a
nothing to do.
different level. You are that person. You are
Yes.
you get
Hey,
all the feedback and everything for that. You definitely have to have that level of
it
confidence
is
and be sure
fact.
in yourself because people will challenge.
Absolutely. Hey,
Your
all day.
vision or who you are, they definitely will. But
All
yeah,
day. So,
definitely be
Michelle,
confident.
share with us a thrill that you would love us to say when it comes to the entrepreneurial side of things. Share with us a thrill that a positive moment, a exciting moment for you that you've experienced since being on this entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, wow. I think honestly, you just kind of touched on it. How
Mm,
you started off versus how you ended up, how a thought and a vision materializes and what it turns
mm,
into. What came from me searching for information turned into a book, turned into a coaching program, turned into me being an entrepreneur. It
yeah,
just seeing that develop, seeing your ideas come to fruition. So I think if you don't challenge yourself, if you don't take that leap, you'll never find out. We all have dreams and visions and things that we sometimes talk ourselves out of, but actually
right.
seeing it come and you're an author to see your book like, oh, this is me.
Hey, come on, go and show it again. Go
This
and
come from,
show it again.
yeah, it says elegant elevation. No,
Period. Period.
Sorry, little plug there. But
Hey.
but no, just actually shameless plug. But
No, ain't no shame, ain't no shame.
but yeah, just seeing your thoughts come to, like you said, when you were going through your journey, and I'm
Yeah.
only sharing this because you shared it in your own, different
Baby, you know I'm an
platforms.
open book. Share away,
When
baby,
you were
share
going through
away.
your 30-day journey, like you started writing, and not thinking this was going to necessarily at the beginning be a guide for other women, but just journaling turned into a book, a best-selling book for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So just putting your thoughts out there and see them turn into something. So that's been the thrill of it. And also just what the future holds, just being very excited
Absolutely.
about, and mine, I'm very new to it. Mine is probably 2.5, 3 years, going on 3 years now, since
Mhm.
writing the book and things like that. So it's very new. And again, I do it kind of part time because I'm still work full time, but
Right.
just seeing in that time how my groups have, having a Facebook group, having my business page, just coaching people, having a bigger social media presence because I was
Yeah.
not a social media person. I was
No,
not.
I remember.
I was not. I was not doing that. I'm not. I'm just not. But just
Yeah.
the growth, the self growth and development, and just seeing my visions come to light has been the biggest thrill for me in
You see
entrepreneurship.
it, like, and that is so dope,
Yeah.
like, you sit back and reflect, and you're just like, "Damn, I'm really doing this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I'm
it's
really doing
scary and
this.
it's all, but it's exciting. Like
All
I'm
of
doing
that. I
this.
love it, and I'm so proud of you, like, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you, like, so much, so much. But yes, with the thrill comes the spiel, so share with us a spiel, maybe a setback, maybe some down moments, some down thoughts, some, just something to share with us, some raw stuff that we wanna hear.
Yeah, well, I got a few of those, but
Hey, share
I think
away.
financial was one thing. Really understanding that you have to be willing to invest in you. You have to spend money to make money. You do have to be smart about that. So that was definitely something I was like, "Oh, it's not just starting. You got to believe in you and be willing to invest in you before you can ask anyone else to do that." So that is something you have to think about. I think also you hit on before confidence. I
Mhm.
mean, just really not letting what anybody else thinks. Everybody's not going to see your vision, and that's sometimes the closest people to you. And then they probably mean you no harm and
Right.
we love them. But, I think Steve
Yeah.
Harvey or somebody said, the fastest way to kill a dream is to tell a big idea to a small minded person. And they're not
Woo.
going to see it, sometimes. So being careful about who you share your ideas with, and if you do share, be willing to take whatever they say with a grain of salt and say, hey, I'm set into this. I'm committed to this regardless. And I
Yeah,
think commitment, that was a huge thing. And I won't say it was a, spill, but
right.
I didn't know the level of
The level of commitment that
commitment
was
that was
really
going to take.
involved.
Because I was very
Absolutely.
committed to my job. Hey, y'all got me 8 hours. I'm all in. But
Right.
entrepreneurship is different. It's different.
Exactly.
I'm committed to making sure y'all pay me every 2 weeks. But
Come on.
with entrepreneurship, you're committed, you're pouring in, but sometimes you don't see those rewards until later. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a thrill and a spill, but it was something that was definitely eye-opening for
Yeah.
me in the beginning, like, "Ooh."
Yeah. It's
I wasn't
facts.
quite prepared for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, a spiel is, having to possibly invest more than we would like to. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because, we say, okay, well, we might want to invest this amount, but then when we don't see results with this amount, it's kind of like, "Oh, do I really wanna keep
Pour
investing?
more
Do I"
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, that's obvious a spear spill, and I tell people all the time, like, I don't care if you're product-based or service-based. You have made major investment in the beginning of this journey, right? You have
Yeah.
purchased products, like, me and you, we purchased our books, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Mhm.
those were investments into our business. So, if I invested $1,000 into a product and I only made $800 back, hey, y'all can do the math on that,
Yeah.
so but also understanding that it's going to I gotta flip it, where
Yeah.
y'all know what them words mean, flip it,
Yeah.
reinvest, do whatever else, but just understanding that you're looking for longevity, you're looking for legacy. So you have to be mindful and open-minded to invest till you get to that point. These
That's
people that are
important.
millionaires and billionaires, baby, they invested
A
and they
lot.
continue to invest. They still invest as
And they lost a lot.
billionaires.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
lost a lot. There was
They
some
lost
like
a lot. That's why I wanted to do this podcast
yeah,
because we don't talk about the losses enough. I don't
we
hear
don't.
a lot of people that discuss the downsides of entrepreneurships. And one downside that I'm going to tell people today is it ain't for everybody.
It's
If you
not.
do not have the purpose first, if you feel like that you are in it to only make
Mm,
money, let me be the one to tell you so lovingly, entrepreneurship is not for you.
it's not.
It's
It's
not.
definitely not. Yeah,
It's
that
definitely not for you. So what's one thing as we close out here? What do you like a tip, a strategy, anything that you would give to the audience to, give them some encouragement if they're looking to begin the entrepreneur journey, if they're in it and they're stuck, if they're, wanting to, branch out and do a little bit more. What's some resource or tips that you would give?
definitely know your market. Know
Mhm.
your market. Continue to invest in personal development and growth, no matter what business you're in. Emotional intelligence, the financial, managing your money, all that's important. So continue to pour into that and be confident. Once you got your dream and you said it and you've done the research, that's what you want to do. Don't let anything stop you. You're
Ooh.
going to have some spills as we talked about. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes entrepreneurship is glorified that, oh, it's a get rich quick. It is not.
Ooh.
You're going to pour in a lot of work. If you have an issue working 40 hours a week, prepare to work, 60, 80 a week for yourself.
Please
That's
tell
what it's
them.
going
Please
to
tell
be.
them.
It is going to be. So what Keisha said, definitely purpose driven. It has to be a purpose. It has to be in here first. You have to really believe in what you're doing and know that you're making a difference to keep going because you're going to need that when the money isn't coming in and those hard nights and when you're falling asleep and you got this to do and that to do for your business because it's your business. Nobody else is doing that. So those would be the things that I would say are my
I
tips.
love it. And those are raw and uncut, y'all. Listen, you
That's true.
got to know what you want. You got to be purposeful in what it is to achieve it. And you
Mhm.
got to be unapologetic in making that happen. Like, I love how you touched on the fact that, those closest to you may not see your vision. They're not going to see your vision, especially
Mm.
those that don't want growth for themselves. Stay mindful of that, people.
Yeah,
Okay.
too.
Absolutely. So please let them know one, where they can get the books from, and then two, where they can find you at on social media.
Yes, the books are on Amazon. Again, it's Elegant Elevation, Shattering Through the Glass Ceiling to Become the Best Version of You, and also Elegant Elevation, the Intermittent Fasting Guide. You put up Elegant Elevation, they're both going to come out. It's kind of a
And they'll be in the
different name.
notes, guys. They'll be in the
There'll
podcast
be
notes. So
notes, and there definitely Elegant Elevation underscore elegant underscore elevation '07 on Instagram. It's Elegant Elevation Intermittent Fasting Group on Facebook and on Twitter. It's elegant at Elegant Elevation.
all right, all right. Well, I love Elegant Elevation,
Yeah.
and I'm super proud of you, yo. I'm
Thank
super
you.
proud of you. And like I said,
Same
all of
here.
those details and links will be in the podcast information section, guys. I wanted feedback from y'all. How did you like this episode? Put the comments in the comments. Shoot me an email. Send me a DM. Let me know. I am welcoming all feedback, good and bad. I
Yeah.
can take constructive criticism. So if you have any insight, if you're interested in being a guest on the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship, that link will also be in the podcast notes. So everything is going to be in the podcast notes, y'all. So just make sure that y'all catch that. Tune in, subscribe to the Upgraded Mindsets Media channel where you can catch the Woman's Hustle and Empowering Real Talk. Okay. Michelle, it has been an honor, sis. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining me.
you. Thank
You
you.
know, you're welcome back anytime. Please keep us
Absolutely.
updated
I
on
sure
your
will.
journey. And we'll holler at y'all later. Be easy.
All right.